Hello everyone, it's Infinity Gamer here and I'm going to be going through some January releases with you. First up, I'm going to apologise straight away if you can see the beads of sweat dribbling from my face. It is so hot here in New Zealand this summer, and there is no better way to get over the summer heat than to waft some brand new release goodness upon one's face. And let's start with the release that refuses to stay upright for my nice little photo parade of goodies, and that is the Highlander Cataran. So looking at the profile here, interesting thing about the model, but looking at the profiles first, so have a look at that. Obviously Ariadna, looking at the not reinforcements, as far as I could tell, without going into each of the individual sectors, I don't think it's in any fireteam combinations, but look in the comments for a keen Ariadna player to come along and just go, you are talking nonsense. But the Highlander Catarans, so this is low 20 points, so 23 points with 1 SWC for the T2 sniper rifle, which is cool. I like T2. And then just the standard sniper rifle is 21 points and 0.5 SWC. Then both of the profiles get the standard use. The camouflage 1 use, which is actually quite useful. And I do quite like that on lower cost models. Climbing plus, also really useful. The number of times I have stuck a sniper on a rooftop thinking this is great for ARO and this is great for attacking. And then as soon as they maybe need to move with their fire team to go get an objective, they've got to find a set of stairs that are 10 miles away. And so climbing plus for a sniper, actually really useful. Myrmidons -3, almost classic with quite a lot of sniper profiles, but also useful because generally they've got cover, stealth and surprise attack. So the surprise attack plus the camouflage actually means that for 20 points, 21 points, this is a really nice little semi-surprise ARO. But even if you've got the camouflage token just up and out as an option, that's good. So really nice sculpt, which I say a lot, but one of the things that did surprise me, it's a hybrid metal and Cyocast sculpt. So the miniature itself, the sniper, which is a great pose, and I love this, is all metal. So the mini is metal, but the box, the terrain, and all of that goodness that makes it look really good is Cyocast. So I'm actually a huge fan of that combo because I feel like the terrain in Cyocast is excellent. I've got the bases, I've got the objective marker things, these things, all Cyocast, and I just love them. I'm not so pro metal that I need everything to be metal. I like this as a hybrid because it's going to give customization options. I think you could easily put bullet holes and things on that terrain, make it modified, and I think that's cool. So that's the Cataran, the Highlander Cataran, as part of the January releases, which will likely be in shops very, very soon. Next, let's go to Digger Town, because I have that not open next, but these are bigger and I've got lots to say about some of these. The Digger is so interesting. I've never really heard people talk hugely positively about the Digger, and I'm not entirely sure why, because looking at the profile, I mean, one, from a reinforcements perspective, yes, there's a Digger reinforcement profile, which is nice because it's low cost, it's a great space filler, but it can actually do quite a lot as well. Then what else do we have? So the profile, yeah, as I said, it's low cost, it's 14 points or it's 18 points. You've got the chain rifle with +1 burst with grenades, that's the both of them got the APCC weapon with +1 burst, that's 14 points, no SWC. Rifle, light shotgun with the APCC weapon +1 burst is 18 points. They have their standard full power profile, which both has booty, which is a nice, just a little extra. CC attack +1 damage. Now bearing in mind their CC weapon is +1 burst, that's quite handy indeed. Courage, dodge +1 inch. And then immunity shock, impetuous, which is nice. Impetuous and regular. Gotta get your diction out there. So that's nice from an extra order perspective. Natural born warrior, so that when the key thing, and then transmutation. When it goes into transmutation, it loses BS. The CC stays the same, which is actually the thing that probably matters. Drops in BS, PH, armor, and that's it. And then loses a couple of those extra fancy things. But why aren't people in love with the Digger a bit more? So sculpt's very cool. If you've seen a photo of that, who doesn't love a massive trench hammer on a big robot arm to make sure that you get the hits done. I guess that's the +1 burst, is, you know, big robot arm hitting, and then huge rifle or chain rifle. I'm not actually sure which weapon that is. It looks like it's a chain rifle because it's massive. That's got +1 burst. So I think the classic thing for this, which is a little bit tricky, I think this lends itself more to the reinforcements. Again, just kind of like guessing, not playing Ariadne a bit more. Because it's only a 4/4 movement, but it's going to do really well up close with the chain rifle and the CC. And so at least with reinforcements, you're starting kind of like halfway up the table, which is amazing in order to get into that sort of range. In terms of like standard play, you've definitely got to be using that impetuous to get up the board. But then again, it's only 4/4 movement. So I think it's a cool reinforcements unit that you should just throw at a big target that has decent CC. Because yeah, an AP CC weapon with +1 burst, that's going to go through, you know, tags it's probably not going to love, or tags aren't going to necessarily love this in CC. All the big stuff, like, you know, I'm thinking things like Hector will probably do quite well in CC against it, but then it's got Natural Born Warrior to counter a whole bunch of those sorts of things. So I think you basically just throw this at something that's really big, really good at CC, and then just laugh as this 14-point model or 18-point model probably has a good chance of taking it down. It does go, there are fireteam options here. So it has the Druze keyword, and it is a wild card. So if you are playing NA2 and Druze, I think I said Ariadne earlier, sorry. If you're playing NA2 and Druze, then the Digger can help make that a pure core with Druze, because then Brawlers have the Druze fireword. Taiwu has the Druze fireword too. So yeah, I think it's actually a really good option. I think obviously the sculpt is cool anyway. I love the chipping and all the detail that they've got in there to make it look like it's actually in the mines and doing stuff and has just picked up some guns. But I think it's actually a good unit profile too. So let's jump through to the Myrmidons, because I picked them up. So 4 models in this one, really nice mix of models. I must admit I prefer the full face helmet ones just because of the look of that, and again, like they've done with the pink glow in the eyes, I think you can do some quite cool stuff there to make them look quite menacing and intimidating, which I think is suits, because I hate Myrmidons. I hate most Aleph, which is why I'm collecting them, so that one day I will bring myself to play Steel Phalanx, the faction that has caused me so much pain over the years of playing Infinity. And Myrmidons are probably one of the reasons behind that. So as many of you will know, Myrmidons are an insane profile. They are relatively-ish expensive, so the cheapest is 16 points, and that goes all the way up to 30 points, so that's a big spread across all of them. There are 6 profiles in total. There's including a hacker, which there's the model for in this set here. They have courage, they've got dodge +2 inches on a pH of 13. They've got frenzy, they've got martial arts level 3, they've got mimetism -6, which is the bit that really stinks, because these are 20-ish point models that have mimetism -6, like it sucks. Then the profiles that you've got to play with here, so across all of the Myrmidons, you've got combi rifle, nanoposter, smoke grenades. Although saying that, smoke grenades, I mean, yeah, smoke grenades are not great. But then, you know, you know what, I think the reason why that bothered me a little bit was because, not bothered me, but it's like, Myrmidons are already good, Aleph is already good. This is just rubbing salt in the wounds, because Myrmidons have mimetism -6, and it's easy for them to get cover. And so anything that does have an ARO is going to have a really hard time of dealing with that, unless they have MSV2, or MSV1, but MSV2. In which case, smoke is going to do nothing to stop that. So for something that's already having a bad time, this is going to make it even worse. And then for something that isn't going to struggle against them, this is just, why give them smoke? But that's great, because I'd rather they have that than Eclipse grenades. So not that bad. What profiles that I like the look of in here are the combi rifle and smoke grenade ones. The 16-point chain rifle and smoke grenade I think is worth throwing in there just to keep the points cost low anyway, and also have something that's difficult to hit, and also give you that range band that's a little bit closer. I mean, that is covered off by the combi rifle, but I think you could probably go chain rifle as your low cost, probably the hacker, although I'm not really sure if that's benefit. But then from a fireteam's perspective, Myrmidons have got great options in here. So you've got the Myrmidons fireteam, which, you know, this pack is pretty much designed to help you with. But the annoying thing there, can you tell I hate Steel Phalanx and Aleph, is that they've then got great options that also have Myrmidon keywords to make it a pure core. The good thing is, and I'm not looking at the screen here because I remembered this from building some Steel Phalanx list, is that core fire teams can only have a maximum of 4, so at least They're capped out at 4. They can't get the full benefits of having a 5. That would just be insane. So Myrmidons, yep, you can have a maximum of 4. That's there. The AVA is 6, just in case you're interested, because you're like 4. Well, that's generally quite good. What is it? It's 6. And then the other things that have the Myrmidon keyword is the Myrmidon Officer, Machaon, Uderus, Phoenix, and Ajax, FTO. Phoenix and Ajax are really good profiles to look at. And yeah, a team of these running up with Ajax is not... It's great. It's great fun. And then Hippolyta also has the Myrmidon keyword, and she is great in CC. So just in case, you know, CC 21 and a DA CC or AP CC weapon, which is what the Myrmidons come with, isn't good enough for you with martial arts level 3, then yeah, take Hippolyta to really ruin, just to end any friendships that you may have locally. Do that. That would be great fun for everyone involved. Said no one ever. But the box is cool, the models are cool, they're essential for if you are that guy, which to be honest, I am. I really want to play them, and I really want to, you know, see if it is as fun as it looks on being on the other side of the table when you just go, no, that's Myrmidons minus, no, that's Myrmidons minus 6/2. Oh, sorry, that's not even a real model, that's a proxy. Oh, that's not even a real unit. Should we get to an actual model in an actual faction that actually plays like normal factions? The Lizard. I'm excited for this. I'm so excited for this. Well, because I've proxied this once or twice to actually play it in my Nomads, which I am painting at the moment. Here's proof. I do paint. This is a Nomad model that has paint on it. Can you see that? You probably can't see that, but there's. And do you know what? Ignore this non-Nomad model that's also on the painting, right? We've got a nun with a gun that is also painted. So yeah, going for an orange color scheme on those to really break away from the red of my Morats, the blue and white of my O12, and the green of my Military Orders Pan-Oceania. And so this is going to get some paint on it soon, hopefully faster than some of the other Nomad models have got paint on them. But the Lizard, let's talk about the profile before we go anywhere else. So obviously this is, obviously this is sidecast, I can tell by the weight, and also the fact that it's a tag, which means everything's now sidecast in that size. The Lizard is awesome because it's in reinforcements, which is so much fun, and that's how I first played it, was just dropping a Lizard and a Mars Spider just straight down into the center of the table, and then just went, right, the Lizard can now do the rest of the game for me. I also love it because points-wise it's 64 points, which seems very, very cheap for a tag that has a Spitfire, and then your choice of heavy flamethrower in reinforcements, which is great, or a grenade launcher with +1 damage. Both are great options. You cannot go wrong with either of those. And then what do we love about that profile? Well, we've got a 6/4 move. We love a tag that moves quickly, although lots of tags do have 6/4, so that's not really special. Got good PH on 17, got a decent whip on 13, great armor on 8, BTS of 6 and 3 structure, all of that fairly standard. And a BS of 14 is quite nice. I like a tag with BS 14 because generally they've got decent shooting. Quite a lot of tags have BS 14. But I still like seeing it. And then I like BS bonuses as well. This has got ECM guarded -6 and ECM hacker -3, which is useful because my tags have a habit of getting totally controlled. And a tag that starts halfway up the board definitely has a chance of getting totally controlled. We then have a BS attack +1 damage, which is useful. So that does stack with a grenade launcher +1 damage. So you've got +2 damage on your grenade launcher and then +1 damage on your Spitfire. And also your heavy flamethrower, should that matter. BS attack, all BS attacks have shock on them. Good, you know, that sounds great, but a lot of things have shock immunity, but it's nice when you do find that one model that doesn't, or it just takes it straight to dead instead of like it surviving and then being close to a paramedic and living. So I like that. It just makes sure that things get dead. PH 11 for dodging and gizmo kidding, and then it has immunity to shock, which is fairly standard and has tactical awareness. The pilot, as with most tag pilots, is a specialist operative. This one has SMG and D-charges. That D-charge is actually quite cool because that can help you do some more missions than just a specialist operative, like blowing stuff up. From a sculpt perspective, I like the fact that it's big and boxy. I think that's going to make it interesting to paint. I like the NMM that they've got going on here, or at least a variance of that. And then lots of big paint panels and lots of space to handwrite Lizard on it, which I am not going to try because my handwriting at that size would be atrocious. But really, really, really like this profile. I'm glad it's now got a model that is of the same caliber as the profile that's here. It's beautiful, and I'm going to look forward to putting that on the table and annoying my friends. not as much as the people who play these, but still fairly annoying. Please let me know what you think of the January releases. Which one of those are you going to get hold of? Which ones are you excited for? Which ones are you going to see on the table? What are your thoughts on the profiles? What have I missed? What else do you think is quite interesting? How might you use some of those? Do you like a digger? What do you think? Do you dig a digger? I want to know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video of the January releases, and I'll be back soon with another one.